The Caribbean is known for its sand, sea, and sun, but a silent debt crisis threatens our way of life. In this video, we'll explore the reasons for high indebtedness in our region, our vulnerability to natural disasters, and how this impacts us. Caribbean Small Island Developing States, or SIDS, suffer the most from this debt crisis, experiencing little or no economic growth and rising public debt levels. In general, debt is considered sustainable if it's below 60% of what a country earns, its GDP. However, 12 Caribbean countries have a public debt above that threshold, with 6 Caribbean SIDS having a public debt exceeding 100% of their GDP. But how did we get here? During colonization, profits were sent to the colonial powers with little or no money being invested in the Caribbean's economic development. Thus, following independence, in order to advance our young nations and empower our people in the international economy, we had to borrow. To make matters worse, there is the issue of our inherent vulnerabilities. Due to our location in the North Atlantic Basin, approximately $30 billion in damages were caused by 854 named storms between 1950 and 2021, 55% of which became hurricanes and 24% intensified to Category 3 or higher. The frequency and the intensity of these natural hazards, heightened by recent devastation and external shocks, have caused our governments to borrow money for response, recovery, and reconstruction. This debt accumulation in the Caribbean region did not occur overnight. It happened gradually and almost unnoticeably over the past 3 decades. It is a silent debt crisis. Have there been any attempts to tackle this burden? Several Caribbean SIDS have attempted to rebuild their debt burdens by initiating debt restructuring operations, but have been unable to maintain the fiscal space, resulting in repeated restructuring in several countries. Caribbean SIDS are also excluded from development aid and concessional financing due to their middle to high income status, limiting the government's ability to invest in health, education, and infrastructure, preventing sustainable growth and development. How has this affected our people? The high level of debt in the region has impacted the average citizen in several ways: increased taxes, unemployment, deterioration of public services, and the reduction of social programs. We cannot ignore this silent debt crisis in which we are incurring systematically more debt, in addition to climatic events and our inherent vulnerabilities. CPDC maintains its call for transparent and participatory decision-making across all state processes, especially in debt-related matters. Want to learn how debt has affected you? Visit our newly launched Debt Monitoring Hub at cpdcngo.org and stay tuned for our next video on debt and sustainable development. Let us know how your country's debt has affected you.